And we are back, folks, here on the Michigan Insider on the Big 1050 WTKA, online at the Big1050.com, live from Travis Point Country Club in Ann Arbor, site of Golf on Main, brought to you by Brighton Ford. Get on board with Brighton Ford in support of the Charles Woodson Fund for Clinical Research at CS Mott Children's Hospital, where sports and science team up for kids. And we are joined by the guy that does it all at Brighton Ford, John Cueter, who I have had him on for years. And, John, we've asked you to make predictions. He has not once predicted for Michigan to lose a game. Not once. He predicted back in 2023 for Michigan to win the national championship. You were right, John.
I got it right that time.
You got it right that time.
It took me a couple times, but, consistency is key, you know, and I got it. I nailed it.
Well, I made a prediction the last time I was on CBS. We were going the, position by position and doing my thing with Bud Elliott, which is coming up on the CBS deal where we do the preview for the season. And my projection at left tackle. And I said, all right, I'm going to go off the board. I'm going to go with Blake Frazier. So the guy sitting in between us looks a little different than when we first saw him when he got to campus.
Just a tad bit, man.
Yeah, man. He's packed on some weight. Checking in at around 300 pounds now is Blake Frazier. Blake, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
Yeah, you looking good, looking like you're filling out a bit.
No doubt.
Yeah, man. So that's been a big part of the journey is getting bigger, right?
Absolutely. That was a main focus. You know, obviously came in as a light guy, but they told me through my whole recruiting process, they're like, yeah, you got the frame to fill out, and we got the people that are gonna help you do it. So. It's been a process, but, enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, I feel like part of getting bigger is, your body kind of getting used to the size as well. I think part of that is, there's some injuries, that come along with getting used to that size. Has that been kind of your experience?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody kind of fills out a little bit differently. And, different guys can carry different types of weight, That's one of the things that our nutrition staff does a great job working with the strength staff too. Is everybody gets their body scans. You see muscle to fat, all that different stuff. What's these guys' bone density? What are they going to be able to carry? So I think it's different for everybody. It's been definitely challenging. It's not easy. It's not a consistent climb. You're gonna have the peaks. You're gonna have the valleys. But at the end of the day, you just got to be consistent with it.
Yeah, so. That's why it's such for people, like when I was talking to the CBS guys, that's why it was so off the board for me to be like, hey, I'm going with Blake because, it was kind of a deal where not a lot of folks have seen you. I'm going off of having seen you in high school, kind of knowing who you are athletically and knowing that, hey, it's just been about putting on the weight. But now that you have weight, knowing what you are athletically, and kind of projecting what that's going to look like now that you're healthy again.
Yeah, no doubt. It's been a fun process for sure.
Yeah. So give me an idea now of now that you're back to having the weight and moving around. Like, how's it been going for you on the football field? How you been feeling? How's it been going as you've been going through workouts and things?
It's a different type of feeling. You get to push a little bit more weight, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's the guys in our D-line room, the guys in our O-line room. We're always pushing each other, so it's we just work off each other. So it's definitely been a different feeling. Playing at 300 pounds versus 250 pounds. It's definitely different. But with that comes all the adjustments that go with it. So it's been a process, but it's been a lot of fun, and I'm super grateful for every part of it.
So I heard you're on board with Brighton Ford over there.
I am. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
John hooked me up.
Yes, he is.
All right.
He's driving a Brighton Ford vehicle, Sam.
Really?
We don't let many of these guys slip by.
Yeah,
no
man.
way.
Yeah, I know, John. You've been connected with the guys with Michigan football for a while. So So what is he rolling around in there, Johnny?
He's got a truck, and he's getting it lifted, too. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. He's getting it lifted.
I mean, the dude is 6'7" or so. I mean, somewhere there is about. I mean, you got to have it lifted pretty high.
Yeah, no, he got a nice one, and it was nice to deal with him and his dad and, just two class people, and I'm grateful that they came in to see us at Brighton Ford. It was awesome.
Yeah, man, I tell you, I tell people all the time, you get on board with Brighton Ford, you're dealing with some great people over there. Definitely. The F-150.
F-150, that's
is America's #1 truck for almost 5 decades, right?
Yep.
For a reason?
Yep, for a reason, yep. And when Blake saw that, he's like, I got to have it. He picked out that color, and then he picked out a nice one. So, we're grateful.
Yeah, I only know that because Devin Gardner, he was like, hey, man, Sam, you got to get me over with John Cueter. I got to get one of those F-150s.
Yeah. There's only one requirement, and they got to sign the wall in my office. The team. And Blake signed that, and it was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so. Blake, one of the interesting things is talking to all these offensive line, obviously Michigan does offensive line really, really well. Joe Moore Award for a couple years in a row. Sharon Moore, former offensive line coach, is the head coach now. Obviously Grant, O-line coach, but you guys got a lot of O-line coaches in the building.
We do.
Right? And so there's a huge emphasis on O-line, to have all of that O-line tutelage around you. Take me through how that influences you as a lineman, how you incorporate that into your development as an O-lineman.
I mean, it makes you want to be better. You see all these guys working tirelessly day in, day out, with the sole purpose of, making us better. And at the end of the day, I think it's only right that, I don't usually say that I feel I owe people anything, but, these guys are working tirelessly. I feel like I at least owe them my best every day, and, that's what I try to give them. So it's, you attack it a little bit differently because you see how they're working, and, they make you want to be better. I like to believe that, we make them better. So it's just it's a back and forth, it's a transformational transaction for sure.
Yeah, I know you've taken things from your position coach in Grant Newsome in your time you've been with him, and Sharon Moore as your head coach in your time you've been with him. Juan Castillo has been here for a little bit of time now, relatively speaking. But in the time he's been here, give me a nugget you've taken from Juan Castillo.
Oh, Juan he tells us all the time about when he was with the Eagles and Runyon, older Runyon. He tells us all the time he's very specific with the kicks and the punches, and he's got it all timed out. He's got a method that he preaches day in and day out, and just getting to work with him. I mean, I make the joke that when you're younger, you're elementary school, you think your teachers live at school. Juan Castillo lives in Schembechler Hall. Like I firmly believe that he is there all the time. He sits in Glick, and whenever our O-line guys are done with their workout groups, he just kind of snags us, and it's like, all right, we're doing field work now. So it's I love Juan. He's an amazing coach. I'm super happy that he's here now, and I'm getting to learn from him because he knows what he's talking about, and he's great to work with.
So in your time now that there's a new OC, just there's a lot that's the same with the offense, but what would you say is different? Without, obviously you can't give everything away, but what would you say that you can share is different about the offense?
I don't know. I think there's just an excitement about it. Obviously last year wasn't the product that we wanted to put out as a team, but especially as an offense. And I think that there's just an excitement about, what this offense specifically can be. And I think everybody's really focused on, there's not going to be any selfish play. There's not going to be anybody that's worried about, I want these stats. I want, my touchdowns, my touches. We're just going to be, the best offense we can be and, win games in whatever form that comes in.
And this defensive line, it was a beastly defensive line last year. Make no mistake. The two best defensive tackles as a tandem that have ever laced them up, in my opinion, in Michigan football history. When you look at this defensive line, new faces, but man, this might be the biggest group of defensive linemen I think we've ever seen in Michigan history. You obviously see them. What would you say about this group of defensive linemen?
They're deep, man. They're deep. It is. you got Trey Williams, and you got Damon Payne now coming in. Rayshawn Benny's back, obviously, at the edge position. You got TJ and Derek, obviously, Dom, Nichols, Cam Brandt. It's just like, you look across the line, you're going to be playing somebody that's really, really good and that would be starting at any other school in the Big Ten. And that's just, something that I think Coach Espo's done a great job of is, keeping those guys, deep, that everybody can play and everybody is going to play. And I think that that's going to be a really strong advantage for them as, we're always going to have fresh legs on the D-line.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking to Blake Frazier. We're at the Golf on Main, Travis Point Country Club here in Ann Arbor, Michigan, brought to you by Brighton Ford. Have John Cueter with us as well. John, before we let you guys go, I know you guys always have some specials going on at Brighton Ford. What can people look at right now if they want to get on board with Brighton Ford? Tell them what you got going on over there.
There's some great lease deals going on right now. We got employee pricing for all, and so the deals are pretty strong right now. Ford's really focusing on putting more leases on the road, and the F-150, the Mach-E, that electric Mach-E, we're selling a lot of those. The Broncos, Explorers, on all those vehicles, there's some really good low lease payments on them right now. So come on down, we'll take great care of you. We've got, depends on your situation on the payments and stuff, but right now we got some really good incentives going on. Right. Through the end of the month. So
all right, yeah. Blake, and so obviously fall camp ahead, man. You got the summer before that, but this is it feels like it's that time for you, man. I mean, what does the rest of the summer look like for you and then fall camp? It just feels like this is your, at least for me, it feels like this is your time, man.
It's there's definitely a little bit of, camp coming up. We know what that entails, enjoy the summer a little bit, but at the same time it's, we're in that weight room. We're getting bigger. We're on the field with Castillo. We're working. It's, we're enjoying our summer, but at the end of the day, we know what's coming. It's time to take care of business.
I don't know how much you guys listen to the coaches in press conferences, but Coach Moore actually gave us a glimpse of the depth chart, the O-line depth chart. He's like, hey, I'm pretty clear on right tackle. I'm pretty clear on my center. I'm pretty clear. I think he might have said left guard, but he said left tackle, right guard. He said, those are battles. Those are battles. Not to say that those other three positions aren't. There's no competition there, but he was like, hey, those other spots, hey, this big time competition. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, no doubt.
So he's laying it down for those spots.
That's what you come to Michigan for. So
listen to this determination and grit from Blake, man. The humility. He's ready.
Excited.
He's got this.
Yeah, man.
Excited.
So good luck, man. Appreciate you. How's your golf game, by the way?
We'll see. It's been all over the place. I played really well. I played really poorly. We'll see how it goes today.
All right. Well, good luck out there on the course. Good luck in camp, man. Good luck on the field. And obviously, I'm rooting for all the guys, but I did predict you to be the left tackle. So we'll see how things go.
Absolutely.
Man.
I appreciate that.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Blake Frazier. All right. We need to get to a break. This will be our last one of the show. So stay with us. We'll be back on the other side here on the Michigan Insider, live from Travis Point Country Club here in Ann Arbor, site of Golf on Main, brought to you by Brighton Ford in support of the Charles Woodson Fund for Clinical Research at CS Mott Children's Hospital, where sports and science team up for kids on the Big 1050 WTKA, online at thebig1050.com.